You guys want another video. Today we got a video with the guinea pigs for you guys. Sorry if you hear the guinea pigs again, they are loud. But anyway, I think we have a much anticipated here top 10 video for you guys on the top 10 worst SpongeBob episodes of all time. And I guess we should quickly get into this. So without further ado, let's get into the top 10 worst SpongeBob episodes ever. So, at number 10 we have Yours, Mine and Mine, where Patrick is such a douche. Basically, SpongeBob pays for his Krabby Patty a Krabby meal, and he doesn't get a toy. So Mr. Krabs gives them one to kind of share, and just Patrick doesn't let SpongeBob have it, and SpongeBob pays extra money for this Krabby Patty. SpongeBob paid for every single thing. And then, at the end of the episode, Patrick's just like, such a douche, man. There's so much filler as well. And yeah, just generally a bad episode of how much a douche Patrick is. And then at the end, he's just like, we should share. And it's just so annoying that it's getting my number 10 spot. So there you go. So the next spot is number 9, which is another Patrick douche episode, as I like to call them, which is Patrick's Staycation. SpongeBob kind of puts on a vacation at his home, and Patrick is just expecting the world out of SpongeBob. Now SpongeBob doesn't even have to do this. And Patrick goes to everyone's houses and just annoys them. So yeah, another Patrick's a douche episode. Yeah, so you know, SpongeBob doesn't even have to do any of this, but he's doing it for Patrick, and Patrick just expects the world. There's no comedy, and the plot, they do actually have a plot, but they ruin it by Patrick being a douche. Like, these kind of episodes are so annoying because of just the way they're done for the viewer and SpongeBob. SpongeBob just seems like he's just getting told off by Patrick. I mean, I don't even know what that is. Anyway, let's get on to number 8, which is probably one you guys didn't expect, but I've put it on here because I think it's supposed to be on here. It's Waiting. Waiting is the most boring episode. Well, one of the most boring episodes. It's just so just boring. The plot is that SpongeBob gets orders a free toy on the back of a Kelpo box, and we literally watch him wait for the toy with a bit of Patrick in there as well, for the whole episode. And then at the end, Patrick accidentally breaks their toy, and they start crying and everything, and then Squidward fixes it so we don't have to listen to their bloody whining. Oh god. Yeah, so, oh my god, this episode is so boring. There's no comedy. The plot could be there if it wasn't just Waiting. Literally, the episode's called Waiting as well. So, you know, literally, it's so boring. We're just waiting for something to happen. And, you know, it's just boring stuff, really. They could have done anything, but they decide to do this rubbish. It's just a terrible episode. Anyway, we better move on with the guinea pigs being a noisy son of a guns. We've got Hide and Then What Happened as my number 7 spot. Hide and Then What Happened. The plot is that SpongeBob teaches Patrick how to play hide and seek. They play it. Patrick, we know where he's hiding, in his house the whole time. So there's no kind of expectation for this episode. We know where Patrick's hiding, and SpongeBob goes looking there everywhere, and we know where he is, so it ruins the plot of the episode. The funniest thing in this episode, which is actually quite funny, is Patrick Not Star. But then, couldn't you come up with such a better name? Like, that is such a bad name. Anyway, there's just no comedy in this episode. The plot is actually kind of there, but they could have done so much more. It's just so bad. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of a quick one, but it's just such a bad episode. Anyway, let's move on to number 6. Number 6 being Penny Foolish, where Mr. Krabs goes insane over a penny. Yep, a penny. He spends all this money just to get that one penny, which makes no sense to the plot, because he's actually wasting money to get a penny, which is kind of confusing, but anyway, yeah. We find out that it's a $500 note, and yeah, SpongeBob just chucks it away, which is crazy, but Mr. Krabs just learns nothing in the end, and at the end of the episode, we just see him digging holes around SpongeBob's house, really looking for that penny. The plot is here for this episode, but it's just done so badly, so boringly, and the comedy is so bad. And they just could have done so much better. We just basically watch Mr. Krabs put on events for that accent. But once again, he's wasting more money looking for much less. How does that make any sense, can I just ask? But yeah, that's Penny Foolish in my number 6 spot. My number 5 spot here, you guys definitely expected this one. It's Stuck in the Ringer, where Patrick is the dumbest ass I've ever seen him. He puts forever glue on basically SpongeBob gets stuck in the ringer, and then Patrick puts glue on it, so he's just stuck there. That's just so annoying, because how can you do that? That's retarded. And yeah, for the whole episode, SpongeBob just can't do daily tasks. And in the end, SpongeBob snaps at Patrick for being such a douche and putting him in this predicament at Glove World, and the crowd just doesn't like it. But what the hell, man? How can you just, how dumb are you, basically? And the end of the episode is the most stupid ending I've ever seen. Patrick cries, and it slips the glue off. It was forever glue, was I told in this episode? Forever glue. And it just rubs off by a little bit of tears. That is so retarded and so just confusing. But there you go, guys. Anyway, that's my number 5 spot. Let's get into my number 4 pick, which is probably quite interesting and quite high up the list here, which is number 4, Face Freeze. This episode is basically like waiting, but you'll see why it's so much higher up. Because the faces, man, it's a steal of the plot from Main Drain, and that wasn't even that good. Main Drain was basically, well, I'll tell you the plot of Face Freeze. Mr. Krabs, they make silly faces at the start. Mr. Krabs tells them not to. They do it, and they get them silly faces forever. And Mr. Krabs and Squidward do it in the end, and they get it as well. Basically, the whole plot is the Main Drain. And the faces are just not for kids shows, let's be honest here. I don't know what they're doing. I think they were just kind of having a art drama moment, or no. Sorry about that there, guys. My mic just ran out of battery. But anyway, that's Face Freeze for you. Just a rip-off of Main Drain, which wasn't even that great. Anyway, let's get into my number 3 spot, which is the Splinter. Who could not expect this? And yeah, basically the Splinter is up so high because of the imagery of the episode. The imagery so, like, just, they make you cringe. They show you a Splinter going into SpongeBob's farm in slow motion. Now, they want to make you cringe here, which is just very, I don't know, cruel to the kids, but, you know, it's just so just disgusting. And then Dr. Patrick returns from the suds and puts some garbage on his Splinter, and it just turns into this massive purple mess. And in the end, Mr. Krabs just pulls out the Splinter, and confetti comes out. What a cartoon. And then in the end, Squidward gets tortured as well. What a great episode. So it's up so high because I'm thinking of SpongeBob as a kids show. So the imagery, you know, is probably not for a kids show. So that's why it's in my number 8 spot. Not number 8 spot, am I joking? Number 3 spot. Because of the imagery, like, in slow motion, the Splinter going into his farm. Why would they do that in slow motion unless they want to make you cringe? So yeah, that's why it's in my number 3 spot. And then my number 2 spot, you might be a little bit surprised if you haven't seen season 9 or season 8, Squid Baby, where this is probably one of the worst Squidward torture porns I've ever seen. And Patrick is dumb as well. He keeps slamming Squidward's head, which he's not supposed to, because I don't know how this even happened. Squidward slammed his head into a mailbox and it went massive, and if his head gets hit many more times, it'll be stuck like that forever? I don't know the plot of this episode, and there is no comedy. Yeah, that's, like, it's just such a torturous episode to Squidward. That's really annoying when Patrick keeps hitting his head when he's not supposed to. That is the most annoying thing to watch as a viewer. But, yeah, that's my number 2 spot. And, before we get on to my number 1 spot, I thought I would do, like, quite a few other people. Honourable mentions. So I'm just going to quickly go through these now, and the reason they didn't quite get in, because they weren't bad enough, basically. Anyway, let's get into my honourable mentions. So my first honourable mention is Spongehenge. My second honourable, I can't even say it, but Squid's Visit, I'll just say them all. And then Boating Buddies, which you guys are probably surprised about that. Big Sister Sam is in there as well, very bad to SpongeBob. A Pal for Gary, very surprised that's not on the list as well, probably. And a SquarePants Family's Vacation, which is such a boring episode. And then final one, which is Buried in Time, also a very boring episode. This is my number 1. Boom! Little Yellow Book, Little Yellow Book, da 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 da, my Little Yellow Book, which is blue. Now, I've already reviewed this episode, and it destroys Squidward's character, this. It's my number 1 spot, because it's destroyed the best character, I think, in SpongeBob. So if you haven't watched this, go watch it in season 9. But yeah, basically, it's where Squidward reads SpongeBob's diary, and, just doesn't care. There's loads of filler, no comedy. The plot is kind of there, but it's just not good enough. And and in the end, Squidward just learns nothing from reading other people's personal possessions. So it's not a very good lesson for kids. Anyway, Little Yellow Book is in my number 1 spot. Hopefully you enjoyed this. And if you want the top 10 best SpongeBob episodes, definitely leave a like and comment. And I'll see you guys hopefully on another video very, very soon. And yeah, peace out.